We arrived to Valaki. It is a cold, rainy night when we arrive. Val quickly talks our way in. I told him the name of the scout Tibbet that told us to name drop him at the gate. Irene and Ismark come with us to the Blue Water Inn. The locals seem to not have seen any other races before Gorgos and myself up until now. I think most of them just look at me like a really large human, though. Val jumped up on a table and immediately stole the show, trying to get as many coins as he can by doing so. His song was talking about having friends in low places, and I'm starting to think that we're the friends in low places he was talking about. Most of us shared a private room, but Gorgos is one heck of a snorer from what little I've heard, so he got himself a private room. We do happen to notice there's a real lack of wine in this area. I'm not much of a drinker myself, but I do like to partake on occasion. My cohort seemed to be more alarmed with the lack of wine than myself, but they were alarmed nonetheless. It seems that Erwin, the owner of this tavern, has a very tenuous relationship with his father. They're both part of the Makovia family. He runs this tavern. His father runs the winery that provides the wine to all the land in the area. The wine shipment is late, and Wizards of Wine is the name of the winery, his father's business. But something's interrupting from the 8-hour or so walk from here to there. Something's interrupting that wine delivery. And we've been tasked by Erwin Markovia to find out what's going on. On the way into town, we spotted a wagon for a carnival, Rictarvio. We checked around the wagon for a bit and realized there was a giant tiger inside. But what was alarming was that there was dried blood on the outside of the wagon. Old blood, but plenty of it. We realized there's a very large tiger in the wagon, and unfortunately couldn't get answers. That is, until Lenya once again cast Speak with Animals, using her connection with nature to do so. And it was a little alarming when Lenya turned around and said, "There is a super racist cat here." Apparently Rictarvio has been feeding this cat, this giant tiger, the Vistani, on a regular basis as a treat of sorts. And even the tiger tells us that there are plans to go attack one of the local nearby camps for the Vistani. And he was really excited for it. He's a cat, he doesn't know any better. We did see Rictarvio in the tavern the night before, but we did not talk to him. We didn't have any reason to, really. Hopefully we can meet up with him again at some point and see what's going on. Because also the tiger said that the Vistani are bad people. We're unsure why. On the way out of town, we see a church, and we made it a point to mark it down that it might be the third Taroka card. The thief, weapon of sword and sunlight. The card said it's in the crossroad of life and death among the buried dead. I'm thinking that might be it, but I'm still unsure. We'll have to investigate later. There's just so much to do in this land, it's hard to keep up with. We found the Vistani camp, a really large one just south of Valaki. We decided to go down there and warn them of the potential danger coming their way of this giant tiger in Rictarvio. And we found a man there who actually ended up being the man who runs the camp, or help runs the camp. And we noticed something's going on with the wagons. The man's clearly intoxicated, smells like wine, and I'm fairly convinced they stole the wine. My cohorts did not want to rock the boat or cause any trouble, so we decided to leave. I was really curious and wanted to get to the bottom of this. But also, we're only charged with the task of finding out what happened to the wine. If we found that the Vistani were stealing it, then I feel like our task was done. But we are a group, and we must do things by committee, and I was outvoted, and onto the winery we go. I think at this point in our travels in the land of Barovia, we have fought maybe 8,000 wolves or so. I do think the number is somewhere around 100 regular wolves, and probably somewhere around 24 dire wolves, and there was no shortage of that here as we go and head towards the winery. We find a split in the road. We decided to go north. We found a rusty wolf trap. Val uses his own arcane magic to clean it, his bardic arcane magic. I still don't quite understand how that all works. We then found a vest with 100 pockets. It's not magical. We decided to leave it behind, because if we see a man wearing a vest with 100 pockets, then we know that's the person that left it there. We can ask some questions. We begin to walk forward, and we had these ravens following us in very strange patterns. One at first would kind of follow us and get close, and then we tried to approach it. It flew off, and then a second, and the first one when it flew off, it just said later, and it seemed very casual in that regard. So I'm curious about these ravens that are following us can speak common language. We then bump into more dire wolves, carry forward, found some more of those neophytes as we approach the winery. Needle blights, I think they're called, needle blights. We make short work of them, and we're about to travel into the winery now. I am curious to find out more about this quarrel between father and son, between the Wizards of Wine and the Blue Water Inn and the Marikovich family. Let's see what we can find out.